has been amazing, to say the least. Let's do a quick recap of the incredible experience that Marketing Refocus has been, and for that, I would like to hand it over to Mr. Shivraj Asthana, the president at Crusading Interactive. He has over 3 decades of distinctive experience spanning leadership roles in diverse organizations from technology startups in the Silicon Valley to management of public services in India. With a passion for technology and solving complex customer problems, Shivraj has spent the last 10 years leading innovation in the digital domain, helping and advising global businesses and venture backed startups in crafting digital strategies through analytics and help them achieve customer success. Over to you, Shivraj.
Hey, thanks, Manali. And are you sure you're talking about the same person? Because for a moment I could not recognize myself. Okay, thank you,
You're great.
everybody. Uh, what an insightful and incredible last 4 hours have been. I think most of us have been related to the screen. We're listening to our illustrious line of speakers and panelists and attendees who came here today. They shared their insights and also their different perspectives, and that's made this event very rich. That, of course, created a problem for me because our speakers today covered such a vast spectrum of marketing and its evolving state today, and that has thrown an impossible task for me to try to summarize this event. My mind goes back to a year ago, our last Marketing Refocus event of 2021, incidentally our first event, when we were taking a stock of the current situation in marketing. If you recall, cookies had started crumbling. Google was talking about flock, and everyone was undecided. A year from then, I think the gap left by cookies is still open. Now Google is talking about topics, and everybody is trying to figure out how to use topics. Apple changed its privacy policy. Meta burst onto the scene, and maybe this has set the stage for what we call today, the event for today, hybrid marketing. As we started going back to the office, I was tempted to move the furniture which I acquired for setting up my work from home office. But my spouse, being far more intelligent than me, she stopped me, reminding me that the workplace is going to be hybrid. You do not move out your old furniture just because the situation is changing. Maybe not yet. Thinking about it, incidentally, the same is starting out to be true for hybrid marketing, where the digital is meeting the traditional. What you're trying to do now is synthesize the power of digital to the rich relationship which you built only in in-person interaction. How? Digital helps you know your customers better, while the foundations of lasting relationships are built on engagements rather than in-person engagements. So as we were listening to the different thoughts, different insights, and different topics we covered today, one of the underlying theme has been how you know your customer. This has been expressed in different ways, whether you know their preferences, their choices, their changing habits, consumption patterns. But end of the day, it's expressed in how do you know your customer better. If you know them, you can aid them in the journey, you can guide them, you can help them in delivering higher customer satisfaction. And that is exactly where the digital and the traditional meet. The digital really helps you find out who your customers are, what your intent is. We are all just going after the intent. As a marketers, we need to know what is the intent of our target audience. A digital helps you determine that. A relationship built via in-person or hybrid event actually lets you cement that relationship And that's why I think this synthesis is something which is probably we'll be talking about in the next coming years. So having set that stage, I just want to thank our speakers and panelists. I think Maria today, as one of our guest keynote speaker, hats off to her by laying down the foundation of how do you deliver amazing CX all over the globe. I think she mentioned about 170 countries around the globe. How do you do that? Where the people, their priorities, their intent, everything is changing and changing very rapidly. So I think she really threw some important light on how do you tackle that beast. David, of course, has been he's been our advisor, and one of the things which he said really made sense, that today when there's so much around us is foggy, and foggy not because we don't have information, the foggy because we have too much of information. So how do you make a sense out of it? How do you shine a light, laser light, in order to navigate your path and achieve your marketing goals? I think that insight which comes through analytics is probably a direction which we'll all be following, all marketers will be following for some time to come. I really like the way when Ari from NVIDIA and Tony, when they talked a lot about the tech stack. How do you make sense of a tech stack? Or is it just a jumble of platforms which you desperately trying to make sense out of it? You made an investment, how do you recoup that? How do you figure out how do you monetize your tech stack? How do you utilize your tech stack? And that is a challenge which I think we all face when we come out, as we are coming out of pandemic. So the last 2 years, the technology innovation has outpaced its adoption. So as new platforms, new technologies come into the play, and because new, we're trying to use them, trying to figure out how to make them useful for us. End of the day, you end up with a huge amount of legacy debt. How do you take care of it? How do you make your platforms talk to each other in a meaningful way, not just because you bought it? How do you use it? So I think that's going to be us for some time to come, as you figure out. As Alok has walked us through what is really the core of hybrid marketing, and I think that's something you must be wondering, why we keep on coming back to the idea of refocus. Just because the technology is changing, our interaction is changing, consumer behavior is changing, I think marketers need to be agile, and that's the lesson probably we have. Maybe in this internet age, 1 year is actually is not a short period of time. A big shout out to our other speakers of the panel. I think they really attacked this idea of hybrid marketing from many different angles, as I was stated earlier. They brought it as different facts, different factors, different factors which go into lifting, as I said, the veil on what the hybrid marketing should be. And let's not just get caught up into the terminology. End of the day, the hybrid marketing clearly means know your customer, guide your customer, help your customers, and deliver the best CX. And whatever approach you take, if you have cracked that problem, I think the battle is won. And last but not the least, I want to thank all our other members and extended members of the GT team, which had made this event possible, got us together. We look forward to ideas. We look forward to your insights and your knowledge. which is going to raise our collective bar a little higher year after year. Thank you very much, and goodbye till we meet next year again.
Well, thank you so much for that, Shivraj. Well, that said, they say all good things come to an end. And I'd say with a refocused hybrid marketing lens, we've only just begun. And I want to give a big shout out to all our speakers and attendees again. You all have been a wonderful audience. We hope you had as wonderful a time as we did. And I hope that we're all going back a little wiser than yesterday. We'll be sharing the recording of the conference with you all via email. And if you'd have any questions or feedback, please share those with us at marketing@presidy.com. Thank you so much for an amazing audience. Yes, sir.
And just 1 second, Akansha. I think my hats off to you and to Manali. You kept the event going.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And it's no mean feat to keep it going for 4 hours continuously.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Great. Well, thank you again so much for being an amazing audience. Marketing Refocus has truly, truly been an experience to remember. We'd be back soon. Like Shivraj said, we'd be back soon with another event. Until next time.
Until next time.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.